sea turtles, the nesting beaches, the habitat loss, trawl boats, the people and the conservation. From Yenadi tribes to the urban masses, a coastal development that affects sea turtles. The next few minutes of tape through Kurma is going to tell you the story that is untold. The big fight of the sea turtles for mere existence. The real survivor story. Olive Ridley sea turtles hold a prime spot in Indian biodiversity. They are protected under Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Act of 1972 and are often described critically endangered. The nesting season is from mid-December until end of April in the east coast of India. Wide sandy beaches, which used to be beaches for birth, have turned into deathbeds. These nesting sea turtles have several threats ranging from trawl fishing, gill nets, habitat loss, and poaching. Through Kurma, we discover the effects of poverty and education on sea turtle conservation, the role of non-governmental organizations in sea turtle conservation, and the future for sea turtles in India, and understanding lives around turtles which impact the turtles' living. Sea turtles nest along the east coast of India, which covers both urban, rural, and tribal populations. Different people, different threats. One of India's most fertile districts, Nellore in Andhra Pradesh, South India, is known for its culture, colors, cuisine, and its rural image. Nellore is a paddy bastion, which is proven by the spread of paddy fields for miles. Agriculturally active, Nellore, being on the coast, also produces salt and has strong prawn culturing units. Although chances for prosperity are abundant, there are people who live in extreme conditions of poverty amidst this commercially active district of Nellore. Living in one such a poor condition are the Yenadi tribes. Forcibly relocated many years ago from a nearby island giving way for a space research institute, these tribes have also been victims of negligence and greed. Challenges and threats facing sea turtles are many. What came as a rude shock was the fact that sea turtles were being poached in southern India. Not until 2008 was it known that a small but strong population of tribes called the Yenadi tribes were poaching sea turtles for meat. Although this isn't a commercial activity, it still is detrimental for the turtle's existence. These Yenadi tribes, they lack in awareness and need for nourishment is the reason as to why they poach sea turtles. If the turtles of India have to be protected, poverty needs to be eliminated among such coastal communities. The empowerment of the Yenadi community is a prime need in protecting the sea turtles along the Andhra Pradesh coast in India. The government promised compensation which has not come in the last 30 years. Their settlement along the coast does not have weather-sustaining houses, nor do they have any mode of income generation. Education and healthcare is the last option. Hence, they are dependent on nature and her wildlife for survival. The Yenadi tribes are just another story of forgotten relocation.
మేము ఈ దొరకు సాంద్రపు కారాపన ఈ ఊరు కానీ మేము కానీ ఆడున్నాం సార్. మా పెద్దల ఏం కనీస సాంద్రపు కారాపన ఆడున్నది ఈ ఊరు కానీ ఈ ఊరు మా పెద్దలు కూడా ఆడి ఉన్నారు. ఇక్కడ మొత్తం 40 కుటుంబాలు ఉంటాయి సార్. ఈ 40 కుటుంబాలల్లా స్థలం లేక ఏం లేక ఆ ఉండే కుటుంబాలనే తలదాచుకుంటున్నాం సార్. సాయంత్రం టైం వెళ్ళి ఇదే పండుగ దినాలు పెడితే సంక్రాంతి పండుగ పెడితే దగ్గరికి వస్తుంటాయి సార్. మేము ఏదో తినేదానికి తినేకారు అని చెప్పని పోయి తెచ్చుకొని తింటుండేది సార్. దొరకు తెచ్చుకుని తినేటప్పుడు మనం గవర్నమెంట్ ప్రభుత్వం వచ్చి అట్లా పట్టరాదు చేయరాదు అని చెప్పిన కాడి నుంచి పాకుండా ముగిసేసాను సార్. మేము ఇకనేదో ఆ సాయంత్రం తాంబేళ్ళు జోలికి బాగోకుండా ఉండాలంటే ఏదో మీ ప్రభుత్వం ఏదో జనుడు ఒక అరకర ఇంటికి 40 50 కుటుంబాల మీద ఒక అరకర భూమి ఇస్తే ఏదో మేము లేదో పలింపు తోటకూర గోగూర ఏదో చెడి బడి వేసుకుని పట్టి పొలంతో వేసుకుని వాళ్ళు వచ్చిన బతుకుతాం సార్.
Upon being educated, they accept their crime and are ready to stop. But then comes the question of alternative income generation. The policy makers have to consider this section of India when they plan development. A holistic poverty eradication plan which will provide nourishment, education and healthcare with hygiene for these tribes. Upliftment of these communities is necessary if we have to protect our wildlife efficiently. All efforts of conservation will go void if the community is not taken care of.
మాకేం కష్టాలు ఏముంది సార్ అడా మాకు ఆసుపత్రికి పోవాలంటే రాందత్తం పోవాలా.
Mangrove forests, clean estuaries of Nellore bear the brunt of poverty. Eco-conservation and protecting these biodiversified ecology is directly related to community empowerment. When the pressure on natural resources from these rural communities diminish, revival of wildlife and natural growth will increase. Sea turtles nest even along urban beaches. If the tribes poaching sea turtles is a concern in rural districts, the negligence among educated class is a concern in urban sectors. A large-scale water desalination plant under construction, with one plant already functioning and the second one being constructed, the burden on environment has increased multifold. The fresh water from this plant will quench Chennai's thirst, but is going to cause irreversible damage to the marine ecosystem. Sea erosion and seawater engulfing low-lying areas will soon become a common sight along this coast. These nesting beaches will be lost forever. Coastal development along urban conglomeration in places like Chennai is the finest example for habitat loss. From large-scale government projects to commercial establishments and beach activity, including residential complexes, is detrimental to nesting sea turtles. This is a paradise which once lost can never be regained. Among such ignorant city dwellers are a few path-breaking students whose interest and passion for environment gives a new lease of hope, not just for the turtles, but even for conservationists. Their passion towards wildlife conservation helps accomplish desired results. They analyze, understand, and participate in protecting sea turtles.
Turtle walks are my best part of life. Flipper tagging, satellite tagging of sea turtle is fascinating as I track sea turtle every day in the internet.
Aribada happening in India is unimaginable. Controlling habitat loss is important for the nesting sea turtles.
Involving students like them in sea turtle conservation or any environment conservation project is the primary goal for any organization. Mass awareness, large-scale education is helping intensely in protecting these animals, because these kids just don't look at the science of it. These kids look at the life in it. They take pride in doing what they do. A simple trigger through awareness and education drives these youngsters towards conservation. At a time when the role of NGOs, the non-profits, in conservation efforts is being questioned, the Tree Foundation has found its place in the protection of sea turtles in India. In a vast democratic nation like India, the onus cannot lie with the government alone in conservation efforts. The common man, the people, need to take active part in protecting the nation's wildlife. This is exactly what Dr. Supraja Darni and her Tree Foundation have been doing since 2002. From mere protection of nests to satellite tagging, scientific research and development in sea turtle conservation, they have done it all. Fascinating, breathtaking initiatives which need to be applauded, because they have protected life and they have conserved the sea turtle for generations to come.
Sea turtles are protected under the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 under Schedule 1 on par with lion, leopard and tiger. But most often people are unaware of this. Over the years we've learned that sea turtle conservation does not limit to only adult sea turtles being protected or relocating of eggs or just releasing baby hatchlings into the sea. There's more to conservation because of the lack of awareness and the poverty among the communities living along the coast. We have to involve the community in a wholehearted way into the conservation program. So Tree Foundation is involved in an integrated sea turtle conservation program, which sort of involves the community in alternative income generating programs, nutrition programs for the children, health and hygiene awareness programs for the communities, an alternative protein source for the Ainadi tribes in Andhra Pradesh.
Coordinating among stakeholders is the biggest concern, as it involves several people from different walks of life, from the tribes to the urban masses, to the students, the government, the policy makers, and many more. Permission from the governments, although is simple, but needs a lot of hard work. Convincing communities to undo something that they've been following as part of their culture for a long time is a big concern, as sentiments need to be taken care of and they need to be educated to live in harmony with the wildlife in the given area. Attracting students and young minds who are capable of innovating in the field of environment conservation is the need of the hour. Every citizen needs to play an active role in protecting India's wildlife. We will
Protect sea turtles.
We will protect our sea turtles.
We will protect our sea turtles.
We will protect
Our sea turtles.
We will protect
sea turtles.
We will protect.
Sea turtles.
We will protect sea turtles.
Protecting India's sea turtles is a matter of pride, involving everybody from the tribes to the local community. It becomes a moral responsibility of somebody. We're not going to wait for that somebody to come. Instead, we're becoming the somebody in protecting our sea turtles.